I mean, the bid here would be for me to say Sheamus, right? Well, my current favorite wrestler is actually Jon Moxley. I think he is one of the best promos in the business, possibly of all time. I mean, he was in WWE where he would out promo John Cena all the time, and then he gets to AEW and he's out promoing Chris Jericho. And there's that swagger that he has, when he's in the ring and he's moving around. It's unrivaled. Like, he just brings so much charisma and so much into his fights and his matches, and everything he does is gold.
My current favorite wrestler is Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's been my favorite since I got back into wrestling in 2015. His whole rise through NXT, feud with Kevin Owens, coming on the main roster, heel turn, all of that has just been so marvelously handled. And his gimmick right now, exploiting the controversies, exploiting the hidden underbelly of WWE, with his documentary, is amazing.
Right now, I think, without a doubt, it's got to be Maki Ito. She's got the coolest gimmick ever. She took a real thing that happened to her. She used to be a pop star, and then she got fired, and then she decided, screw it, I'm going to be an amazing pro wrestler, and she does it so well. I think Maki Ito is hands down my favorite wrestler right now. If you don't know who she is, look her up on Twitter. Everything about her is lovable. It's all fantastic.
While my faves include, but are not limited to, Asuka, Ricochet, Hangman, and Nyla Rose, I gotta go with Orange Cassidy. Come on, Orange. It fits. Orange. My favorite wrestler of all time is Daniel Bryan, aka Bryan Danielson, aka American Dragon, Ring of Honor, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, New Japan, Noah, NXT, WWE, everything he's done, everything he will do. I just love it. WrestleMania 30, open, close the show, kill it, quit because of unforeseen circumstances, come back even stronger. Amazing.
My all-time favorite wrestler is Mick Foley, without a question. Not even close. Like, you gotta love a guy who can do all the crazy shit Cactus Jack does, the comedy and the humor that his dude loved, and then just like that manic mix that made Mankind so good, and does them all at the top of the game. Like, it's amazing, and I think he's unrivaled in his character work. And I just think that it's funny that, like, kind of one of the funniest and most lovable wrestlers of all time is also just one of the most dangerous.
My all-time favorite wrestler got sworn into the Hall of Fame this week. My all-time favorite wrestler was Kane. Kane has played so many amazing different characters while still being Kane. From his debut at Bad Blood, and entering a immediate feud with The Undertaker, teaming up with X-Pac, teaming up with Daniel Bryan, being a horrible, scary, intimidating monster, being a babyface. I think he's managed to do everything well. He's had his dark moments, he's had his poor moments, but he's managed to do everything successfully in the business.
My favorite wrestler of all time is probably Chris Jericho before he lost his mind, or has he always been conservative? Because if that's true, then I take that back. And I'm sorry, but Chris Jericho, you were really cool to me, like to teenage Steven in the 90s, and I hope you somehow find your sanity back, because I miss it, buddy.
I really want Bianca Belair to beat Sasha Banks. I think Bianca Belair has an amazing future with the company. If they position her right, she could be a big breakout star, get more eyes on the show. I think that she's someone who is rising very fast. They clearly like her because she won the Royal Rumble after ending from the number 3 position. That's amazing. Bianca Belair. I really want her to take it.
I would have Asuka retain over Rhea Ripley. Now, I think Ripley's got a great future, and I think that her losing would actually build up to a really good feud, and she could be a great rival for Asuka for the time being. But come on, just let Asuka win at WrestleMania once. Like, don't have Charlotte show up and steal her spotlight again. Don't bury her again. And most of all, just, like, you haven't fed her anything for months, so just give her a win at WrestleMania, please. Like, it's not that hard.
Let's have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn literally fight forever. Just like let them keep fighting and let WrestleMania be just a show that doesn't end and is just streaming Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn fighting literally forever. And they get breaks, I'm not going to be awful. Let them have like lunch breaks and bathroom breaks and, holidays. But then whenever they're done with that, they come back and they just keep fighting because those two are the best. They're amazing. I love them.
If I had control over the outcome of one match at WrestleMania, it would be Big E, it would be Apollo. Big E would get a DNA test, find out what tribe in Africa his family's from, and they would have a heartfelt discussion about Pan-African diaspora.
If it could be, I would want it to be Mankind, Dude Love, Cactus Jack, and then Mick Foley as commissioner. But actually, my wrestling Mount Rushmore is dudes who manage to work in the ring super well while also being very funny. Mick Foley, Chris Jericho, Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn. Honestly. Also, they all have beards. Or at least sometimes have beards.
My wrestling Mount Rushmore is admittedly going to sound like I did the reading answer. Because these are not, I think, typically what people expect when you hear that question. Because mine is Lou Thez, Bruno Sammartino, Giant Baba, and Gorgeous George.
I don't really even know what Mount Rushmore does, like the real one. I don't know what it's for. I don't know how many faces are on there. So I guess my wrestling Mount Rushmore would be like The Rock, John Cena, a steel chair, and JR. JR seems cool. Is he awful? God, I hope he's not awful.
Well, first and foremost, I don't rock with Mount Rushmore, the concept, the name, the white supremacy. So I'm going to go with the 6 grandfathers of Eddie Kingston, Bull Nakano, Shawn Michaels, CM Punk, Andre the Giant, and The Rock. If your list doesn't have The Rock, you're tripping.
If I could be a pro wrestler, my gimmick would be to be a contestant from the Price is Right style. Like, they'd play the Price is Right music and they'd say, Stephen Koo, come on down. And I'd always come in from the crowd with like this like sticker on my chest that says my name. I'd be cheering, being very happy and like enthusiastic and positive. And then I'd just get like wrecked every time.
If I was a wrestling character, I'd be somebody's uncle, preferably a southern one, preferably with a Bluetooth headset, so that every time you thought I was giving a promo, I was talking to somebody on the phone. I would call people young blood. I would tell my the wrestlers that I'd manage, you don't know nothing about that.
I don't think I could ever be a wrestler, but I thought a great heel gimmick would be a men's rights activist. I'd be named Maxwell Randolph Abramowitz, the MRA, and I would basically say that as a heel, as a bad guy, women have no place in wrestling, and then whatever female wrestler in the back, because it slams intergender, would just come out and beat the shit out of me, and it'd be hilarious, and I would always lose.
So for the longest time, my wrestling gimmick idea was somebody who like just didn't want to be there. I was just really tired and really annoyed about everything. And it'd be like literally just Paul Rudd in Wet Hot American Summer. And that was a cool idea to me because I hadn't heard of Orange Cassidy. So I don't know, my backup would be kind of leaning into like my Irish roots. So maybe like a little Irish brawler type, dress up like a hooligan, wrap up the fists. Could even probably go by my name,